Alright guys, so I wanted to make this video on the GPU talk, and Nvidia releases their new graphics cards, their new series, way ahead of AMD's RDNA 4. So Nvidia is the DLSS 4, RDNA 4 is from AMD, and right now you have several YouTubers that are half excited for the 5090, the 5080, basically saying that it's really a 30 to 35% boost in performance over the 4090. And then you have the RDNA 4 that's coming out that is going to have a lot more gamer-centric performance capabilities, and I do believe it's going to be at a lower cost reasonably. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the reasons Sony deals with AMD when it comes to their graphics capabilities in the PlayStation, because it probably saves them cost. They have that agreement. They've learned that their technology, just because it's not as expensive as Nvidia, is just as much as effective, if not better. Because I notice when I'm playing on PlayStation, the cinematography just looks and feels exactly the way it should, in my opinion. I know that over time, when I've had my PC and I would game on the same games I would game on my PlayStation, I did notice that there were some bugs and glitches with my PC itself. Even the Xbox had ghosting on certain games, and also for the PC. So when it comes to PlayStation, yeah, they have a solid hardware capabilities. They have a solid hardware capabilities, and they use AMD. So in my opinion, yeah, if I wanted to, I could work my ass off and actually get the 5090, but it makes no sense for me to spend that much money on a graphics card if I'm not even going to need that much power. With the new AMDs coming out, and I know that's got to be cheaper, it's got to be more affordable, it's got to be more reasonable price compared to the Nvidia. The Nvidia is costing an arm and a leg, and you have people that are buying that up, selling it out. And certain YouTubers are shocked about that, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not motivated or encouraged to spend that kind of money on a graphics card, because I still have a 3080, I got a 5950X 570 SteelSeries motherboard. I know this is like back then gen, but you gotta understand something. What's very frustrating and what's aggravating about PC gaming, I bought that PC I think about like 3.5-4 years ago, and you're telling me that that generation is done with. So every couple of years a new generation rolls in, where PlayStation at least has their generation every 7 or 8 years. So that is very discouraging, and in my opinion, to go to that kind of leap in a couple of years. It should be more than a couple of years. It should take longer. So in my opinion, I'm not a fan of it. I feel as though it's a bummer that they would do it that way. But with the AMD, I do see some sense in the capabilities. If it's going to have the 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it's going to have a pretty good graphics card, RDNA 4 built right into it, yeah, why not? Because PlayStation 5 Pro is RDNA 2X, which is 2 and 3. So when it comes to PC, I should just stick with the Nvidia. In my opinion, I think it's a solid buy. In my opinion, I think it's a good way to buy into it. So with that being said, as of right now, yeah, it makes no sense to go with the 5090, because when I had the 3080, I haven't really used it much. So why am I going to go with a 5090 for what? It's so expensive. It's like buying a whole PC by itself. I'd rather get the graphics card, which is probably going to be a third of that cost, maybe $1,200, maybe $1,000. Who knows? I'm guessing because I don't know the PC market the way everybody does. But I'm not going to spend that kind of money. I'm not going to spend the $50-90 money. It's ridiculous. They took my TV yesterday, by the way, so that's $1,500 cash back, and then I have $400 on my Best Buy. That gets credited back. So that's awesome because I'm actually thinking about my next PC possibly being AMD because economically, I think it's ridiculous that people would spend that much money on a graphics card. If people are spending $2,700 for a graphics card, yeah, they can afford it. Yeah, they're PC heads, but I'm not spending that kind of money on a graphics card. That is insanity, guys. That is sure insanity. I'm not doing that. I would rather save that money for more parts. I would rather get the RDNA 4 graphics card, and I'd rather get a racing wheel. Sim racing wheel, a good one, you know. I'd rather that will be like a good cost of my money, if you ask me. It'll be a good cost of my money. So when it comes down to it, it's one of those things where I just want to stick with something that's going to be benefiting me, not benefiting the company, because obviously, you know, you want to go with the 5090 if you're going to get the best of the best. But how can you say, you know, here's the thing, like, everybody's already saying it's so much better, this and that, and I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to say one thing. The RDNA 4 has not even come out yet, and everybody that is on the green side is already saying that it's better. Yeah, I get it, but they haven't even tested it out. That's ignorance in social media, is people are not, like, being real, and just because they know that kind of critiquing, the rhetoric, you know, just like hating on something, it makes money. People like to see someone, you know, destroying someone. That's what makes money. So therefore, people aren't real anymore when they talk about these things. I'm talking to you guys as a realistic perspective that it wouldn't make sense for me to buy a 5090 because, first of all, it's like 3 times the amount of an RDNA 4. I don't think. Okay, the most I think the RDNA 4 might be if AMD wants to go and charge us maybe $1,500. I hope not. I hope we can get it for $1,000. I hope we can get it for like maybe $800. That would be nice because then I think it's going to be a solid graphics card for gaming. That's the thing. Nvidia is more AI, and of course they're going to give you all these, you know, created frames and this and that. I want a card that can compete and be compatible with my PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, when it comes down to it, I'd rather save money than spend money. I'd rather get the racing wheel. I'd rather get the new RDNA card for some reason. Because why wouldn't Sony go with Nvidia for their graphics? Why, you know, if they want the best of the best, why don't they go with Nvidia? Well, it's probably because it's just too much money. And AMD is doing just fine. You don't need an Nvidia unless you're like Jensen said, you have a $10,000 machine or command center, whatever you want to call it. Stupid stuff, man. Who's going to pay that much money? Yeah, I know certain people are going to pay that much, but I'm not paying that much. I haven't even gave $1 to Call of Duty ever since I started playing the game. I'm being serious with you guys. I haven't spent $1 on Call of Duty ever since I've been playing the game. Not one. I haven't even spent $5, dude, to buy like a simple bundle pack. None of that stuff. Nothing. Nope. Zip. Zero. They ain't getting none of my money. They can hate all they want. They can make my lobbies suck ass for the rest of the season. I don't care. It's not going to change the way I feel about a game that is exploiting and ruining the gaming experience. I actually had fun playing the Warzone yesterday, the Uzbekistan map, in solo mode, because I think that's another problem. When you have a bunch of people all grouped up, it's worse because you know, there's more and more people that will be hacking, Yes, people do hack in all different lobbies, but I do believe that I had fun with the solos. And for you coming to my channel to comment saying that I am the biggest bot that you've ever seen, dude, you have 3 subscribers, okay? And you're a loser, all right? You're just looking to ruin someone's day, and the only day that's been ruined is you, because you can't even find time to find something that is worth your time, okay? Because obviously, if you're critiquing me and criticizing me, I'm not worth your time. You're just wasting your own time on me, which is hilarious and humiliating at the same time, because that's how much of a fool you are. So that's all I'm going to say at the end of the day. Okay, back to the graphics cards. So yeah, I'm thinking about the RDNA, because I think the RDNA in the long run is the RDNA 4. I think it will be pretty compatible with my PC in the future, and I won't spend a ton of money, guys. That's the key, is being able to get a really good performance card without spending all this crazy amounts of money. And maybe RDNA 4 for some reason might not be as AI driven as Nvidia with their frame generation. I mean, maybe it might be something different. I want something that's more for gaming, not for AI and all this stuff. Like, yeah, it's you could use it for everything else, but I just don't like the attitude of Jensen. I don't like the way he portrays himself when it comes to thinking that it's almost like a conceitedness, thinking that, yeah, he sells all those cards all the time and everyone says they're phenomenal and this and that. But you got real people that speak up and say, you know what, why am I going to spend all this money? It's not worth it. It's not a value to me. It's more putting more money in their pocket, and then you're eating up that cost by having that card. Yes, you will have the best gaming experience, but why do you have to spend that much? You don't have to spend that much. And I stress to say this, the RDNA 4 card hasn't come out yet, and already people are blasting it like it's not going to be good. How do you know that? Why would PlayStation stick with AMD if they didn't know their product was good? Come on, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Like, this is the real deal when it comes down to it. Wait till the card comes out, run your tests, and then say, hey, yeah, we do have a better card, or no, 5090 is still better. Because I know the RDNA, of course, if I go with that one, I probably save a ton of money. Because I got the 3080, and I noticed the 3080 when I'm gaming on it, 10 gigs of RAM, it's not being able to control everything perfectly. There are glitches, there are ghosting, there are things that happen that just makes me feel like, well, you know, I just spent all this money on this PC. Why is it still doing the stuff that Sony always, when they make a game, it doesn't do it on Sony? Right there, that's a red flag. That just tells me that no matter how much you put into PC, you're always going to find something that is not going to be pleasing and amusing to the eyes. So, with that being said, you have to give AMD time when they release their graphics card that is going to be good. You have the 9070 coming out. I think that someone said that that's mid-tier. I would want to see what they have for the flagship. To see what is it, the 9000 series, the flagship? I don't think it's the 9070. I think it's going to be maybe a 9090 or 9080. No, 9090. A 9090. I want to see that one. I want to see what that is capable of. Because right now, if AMD is just releasing the 9070, then they know what consumers, I'm trying to think of the word. They know what kind of people, and they know their community. They know the people that are going to be buying into that at that price. So they're going to more gravitate towards that league of card, 9070 for the consumers, the average consumers that are buying AMD for gaming. So they're going to release that one. I want to see the flagship, and I want to know that, hey, I could get a flagship RDNA 4 AMD card, no stress. I could get that and maybe spend half of the money that I would spend on the Nvidia 5090. I'm serious, guys. If I can find out I can spend $1,000 to $1,200 on a graphics card over $2,000 to $2,500 to $30,000 to even $3,500, are you serious, dude? For gaming? People have lost their minds. If that's what you're spending that much money for gaming, nah, you've missed the point. See, that company knows that when they can manipulate and they make money, they do that. And you need to understand that. The company knows that. So you have to understand that part. That is something you have to understand. Other than that, I am excited about being able to save some money and upgrading my PC. And who knows, I might get the AMD and I might enjoy it, and I might say, you know what, it's better. I don't need the 5090. I feel like the 5090 is just not where it's at. It's not where it's at, you know? That's my honest opinion. I feel like it's not where it's at. So, with that being said, I am literally more into the whole concept of RDNA, AMD. I'm more geared towards that concept. RDNA, AMD. I'm not geared towards the concept of spending a ton of money on Nvidia. I think Nvidia is just trying to make too much money, in my opinion, and I'm just not a fan of that. All right, guys, I'm at my work, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for listening to this video, watching the whole thing. Subscribe, comment, share the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.